Alright, got a 2021 Grand Cherokee here. We are going to do the rear brake pads and rotors. Alright, I'm going to use the AutoZone Duralast brand. This is the brake rotor 72113, and the brake pads are the gold, and it's a DG1498. Alright, so we're going to start it off by taking this little bracket right here off. And in the back here, it's a 7mm bolts. There's one here. It's an Allen. So it's a 7mm Allen here, 7mm Allen down there. I loosened them up already. I forgot to take the spring off. This spring here, I just pop it right off. Alright. I just push this part in, if you notice, and it'll bend it a little bit. Then it's got to pry it out with your other hand. Let me see if I can do it while I'm holding this camera. There it goes. Alright, save the old one, because if you watch me with the brake pads on the front one, the new replacement ones, they suck. Alright, so since they suck, I use the old ones back on. Alright, 7mm, takes that bolt off. This caliper should slide right out, and it will come out with the brake pad. So you might have to pry it a little bit just to get it out. So let's see if we can do that. So I can set you up here. Gotta go on an angle here. Big angle. There it is. Like that. Like I said, it's going to come out with the brake pads. The inside brake pad. See it? There you go. This is a good time to push the brake pad in. While the brake. Good time to push the brake caliper in when the brake pad is already attached. Because then when you grab your tool, which is the one that I use here from Lyle, okay, I'm going to set that up right in here like that. I'm going to squeeze it in. Okay, should go in like butter. Should go in like butter. Okay, squeeze it in by hand. It's going to go all the way down. You can rent the tool, you can buy the tool. I've seen people use C-clamps, channel locks. You'd be surprised what people use. All right, now this brake pad pops right out. There's a little spring clip to it. Okay, once you pop that out, you might as well continue with this. What I do is I wire brush this, I clean it, and then I lube it up in advance. So it's one less step that I have to do later. All right, so let's do that. All right, so I cleaned it up, wire brushed it, put some lubricant on here, on both sides, from AutoZone, from Slide Glide. Now I'm going to put the brake pad on. Just snap it right in there. The spring is going to go into the little caliper piece there. All right, so I'm going to grab that and I'm going to push that in. Don't touch the brake pad material. You don't want any grease on it. Okay, this is just going to hang out in there for now. Make it nice and secure. The brake hose doesn't break. Okay, this brake pad is going to come out. And now, here, two 18mm bolts. We're going to remove that out of there. Once you take that out, then the caliper bracket is going to come out. Okay, so let's do that. All right, these should break out. We're going to wire brush this bracket, make it nice and clean. There you go. Now it's time for the rotor. If you look at the rotor, just like the one in the front, there's a little O-ring there. Okay? you want to do is you want to take a little tiny screwdriver. You want to stick it underneath that O-ring and try to pry it out. Okay? Try not to break the O-ring. Ouch. Okay? Pull it back out. Just like that. There you go. Clean it up before you put it back in. Take a little PB blaster. Spray it in there. Give that a couple seconds to rest. You look at the rotor over here. You can see there's a little lip here. The brakes are wearing in. And it's wearing out the metal on the rotor. That's why we always change the rotors with the brakes, people. All right, now we're gonna take our sledgehammer here. And we're gonna whack this little rotor and it should pop right out. Let's see if I can stand you down here. Dust. And that comes out. There you go. Rotor out. Once the rotor's out, now you want to look at your emergency or parking brake shoes. All right, you can see this almost new. Customer probably don't even use it. Looks like it never touched. What we're going to do is we're going to take some brake cleaner and spray it all up to get all that dust off of it. Make it nice and clean before we put the new rotor in. All right, so let's do that. All right, don't be shy with the brake cleaner. And get all that dust off of it. Off the shoes, off the springs, off the hardware, off the axle in there. Okay? Try to catch it at all angles. Then that'll dry. Then we'll put our new rotor in. The rotor's already cleaned up. Took all the oil out of it because it's got this little shipping oil that it comes with. Clean it inside and out. I'm going to throw it on here. Okay? Toss it right on there. Let's do it. Voila. Now what you want to do is you want to wipe clean the O-ring that you took off previously and slap it right back in there. Good, man. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Got the O-ring in there. Sitting nice and steady. Now I'm going to work on the caliper bracket. Clean it. Brush it. Meaning like a wire brush. And we'll spray the crap out of it. Make it nice and clean. Alright, so let's do that. Dun, 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 dun. Uh-oh, I think the doggy's gonna be barking soon. There he goes. See two huskies walking around. Alright, let's get the brake cleaner, people. Spray it up. Let that dry for a second. Then I'm going to mount it back up onto the rotor. Okay? Alright, we're going to go tighten up these boys and girls. Lock them in place, and then we're going to torque them. Then we'll continue. Alright, once the caliper bracket is on, torque the specs. Let's put the other brake pad on. Brake pad basically just sits right on there. Okay, that's all it does. I'm going to grab the caliper now. Make sure it's not twisted the wrong way with your brake hose. Okay, make sure it's oriented right, like that. Okay, I'm going to slide it right on there. It's already pre-lubed, brake pad is already on it, and the piston is already pushed in. So now what you want to do is you want to line it up, pushing your 7mm bolts, so you can line it up. Whichever way makes it easy for you to spin them in. Just take your time, make sure it grabs it. You don't want to strip it, okay, if it goes in crooked. The bottom one is a little rough because you got the low control on in the way. But eventually you will get it. So let's do that, and we'll tighten it up, and then we'll continue. All right, once you put the 7mm Allen, tighten it up to specs. Don't forget to put your little caps on there. Keeps the dirt out of it. Otherwise, you won't be able to put your Allen in there. Now, up to the spring part. Let's find that spring so we can put it on. It's here somewhere. All right, here's the spring part, which is always the fun part. Like I said, I don't like the ones that come with the brakes. The factory ones seems to hold up a lot better. All right, so let's see here. What I usually do is I try to put the outside ones touching first. Okay, make them touch first. Then I pry this to get these in those holes. So let's try it without losing my fingers. Okay, a little rough there, buddy. All right, let's put one in. Go cheat. I put one in. Got this one in there. I just gotta get this one on the outside. Never liked these springs. All right, let's try it this way now. There you go. Perfect. Like I said, I hate these springs. That's it. We're done, people. Brakes are all done. That's it. Front and rear all the way around. This is just the finishing up of the rear. Just double check your work. Make sure the spring is on. Remember that you tighten up your two Allens, the two 18mm, and make sure this hose is not bent or kinked, because sometimes when you take the caliper out and hang it up or somewhere, you kind of twist it. All right, so it should be nice and smooth, so there'll be no binding. All right, that's it. Cleanup time, and we're done. Thanks for watching. Ciao.